Hello, hello, hello. Happy New Year.
Woo!
Welcome back to the What We Said podcast 2025. I can't believe it's here. I can't believe we are just taking on a whole new year. And I can't believe how high the number 2025 feels.
It's crazy. First episode of the new year.
Yeah. Fresh
New,
vibes.
fresh, gorgeous. I'm ready.
I think it's been a year since our first episode recording video, right?
I'm sorry, what? Oh, since we first started
Sorry.
recording video footage.
So choppy.
Yes.
Yes. Right?
Yeah, we started at the beginning of last year. So it's been a year of us filming the podcast.
Wow.
What a year. That it was good for us to do that and really push ourselves.
Yes.
It's something we'd been wanting to do for a while, but it just felt like such an extra thing, obviously. But I'm really glad we started doing video.
Yes. Same.
A year ago.
Same.
Now we have a year of it under our belt, and yeah, it's been really fun.
Yeah.
I love it.
How are you feeling about the new year?
I'm excited. As I'm gonna discuss in this episode, it's not like I have like a super clear idea of exactly how I want like every month to go or something. You know, it's not, or every year. Sorry, the whole year, but like every month of the year. Like, okay, in January I want to do this, in February I want to do this, or anything like that. But I do think I have a vision overall of how I want the year to feel and go and flow. And I'm excited. I love a fresh start. You know me. I'm a Capricorn. My birthday's in January. I like the month January. It's just something about a fresh start I love. I've always loved that. I love a Monday. Like, I just like when things feel fresh, and like, even if it's in my head, it feels like a new beginning, and that's exciting to me always.
Motivating.
Yeah. I have like a little sense of motivation anytime I feel like I'm entering a new chapter, or like there's an opportunity for me to cleanse and start anew.
Yeah. And the Capricorn, what is it called? Not era, but like Capricorn season. Yeah.
Yeah.
It really adds, I believe, juice, momentum to the Capricorns. It's feeding you.
True. That's probably why I've always loved that too. Love the beginning of the year.
There's something about like your season of your zodiac that it's like, okay, this is my time.
Yeah. Kind of thriving, or like.
The moon, the stars, everything is on my side.
True.
Maybe I just made that up, but it's good to believe that.
I think so too. How are you feeling about the new year?
I'm feeling great. I'm feeling excited. I feel like time is flying.
Yeah.
I'm feeling very different than years before, not in a bad way, not in a good way, just different. But the thing that I am consistent with, that I'm happy I'm consistent with, is I still love a vision board. Like, I'm still, honestly, when we first, started making vision boards and getting into manifestation, I was like, I hope this doesn't just like fizzle out like some other things, trends. But I'm just as excited as ever to do my vision board for the year. I can't believe the vision board I made last January I can't believe that it's been a year with that vision board.
I know.
This year has flown by. It feels like 10 years and 1 second at the same time.
Yes.
I can't believe this is the year that both of us had our babies, this last year.
Yeah.
That they weren't earthside with us. Like,
I know.
It is so crazy.
No, it is
in
crazy.
January.
A lot did happen last year.
Yeah.
I feel like it was a big one. It was a big year for both of us.
And I feel like when your kids are small, the difference that oh my gosh, and I'm sure when they get older too, I just only know now toddlers and babies, but the difference of how they act, their personality, and just how much they've developed over the year is crazy. It's like how they say, that's why you say they're 16 months or 17 months instead of just one, because a 1-year-old that just turned 1 is incredibly different from a 1-year-old that's about to turn 2.
Yeah.
Like, they're walking, they're talking, it's so different. And
They
so I
level
feel like,
up very quickly in those months.
yes, I feel like, well, first of all, Woods was literally in my stomach. And so he obviously is now crawling, and that happened in a year.
Yeah.
And then Case, how he was when he was 2 versus to now how he, like a 3-year-old, is crazy.
So different.
So different. So crazy.
I know. It is. It's
jarring.
a lot.
It's jarring.
It is jarring. Do you know what is so funny? Maybe I talked about this, but I'm pretty sure. Oh no, that wouldn't make sense. Because last January I already had my house. I'm getting confused about my vision board. maybe it was the following year or the previous year.
Yeah.
I was thinking I didn't even have, that couldn't be real because I had already bought my house last January, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I was thinking, I remember one of my vision boards, I didn't even put a house on it. And then that was the year I bought my house. And I was like, okay, that was interesting. I purposely didn't put it on because I was like, I don't think literally doubting myself. I was like, I don't think it's realistic that I buy houses here. And then I did. And I was like, that's funny that it was like reversed. Where most of the time it's like, I'm going to put something so big on there and crazy. And then it, sometimes you get closer to it or it does happen. But I just thought that was funny. I like purposely was like, I know I won't be able to buy a house, so I'm not going to put it on there. And then I'm like, wait, that is so weird that is the year.
Okay, that's motivating to me because I was kind of like in the same boat. I'm like, should I even put a house on? Like, I'm giving up.
I've given up.
Not given up, but like really I've let go of the expectation of the forcing. And I've had this moment of acceptance where I'm just like, it'll happen when it needs to happen. Like the right house will come to us and, we just need to be prepared for it. Not necessarily, I'm like, we'll just hope the money goes into a city, not like that. But just the expectation of timeline and things and situations, just things like that where I'm like, I'm not even going to put it on my vision board like the main thing of I want a house so bad. I'm just like, you know what? I'm just going to leave it off and focus on other things that are, I want it. Like, and the universe, they know I want it. But I also love the house we live in right now. And I'm happy. And I'm like, do I really even want to do that right this second?
I think it's good regardless to have it on your radar or like put something on your vision board, even if it does. Well, I'm kind of contradicting myself because again, I didn't even put it on my vision board.
I'm doing whatever worked for you.
No. But I do think like it's good to put stuff on even if you're like, oh, that probably won't happen this year because it's still like you're getting closer to that. Or it's on your radar and you're thinking about that and you're like a little more, I don't know, you're saving money, you're thinking about the house more. I think that is good. I just thought it was weird that I literally did the reverse. But that was 2 years ago and I'm realizing now I don't think I made a vision board last year. I was so in the depths of sick. Yeah, I was so sick and pregnant. I'm realizing that because I was like, what the heck was on my vision board? I'm like, I didn't have one.
Abby did it by ourselves.
Yeah. So I guess I didn't have one last year. I had made a Pinterest board of some stuff last year, but I didn't have a physical one. But I love having the physical one to look at. It's really fun.
Yeah, it is fun. It's fun to make.
Yeah.
It's a fun little craft. We made them together last year. And it's fun to put those little details on the board and look at it at the end of the year and see what has actually come true, like what you don't even remember putting on there that actually came true. Not this last year, and I'll talk about this last year's vision board and all that stuff in a second, but 2023's vision board was so scary. Like little things came true that I didn't even remember putting on there that were so specific. I can't even remember like certain things, but it's kind of like that TikTok you made of like that photo you took in Italy versus like the one you had pinned. It's like things like that
is so weird.
I looked at my board at the end of the year and I was like, oh my gosh, like I can't even believe I didn't even remember wanting that.
Yeah.
But when you admit to yourself that you want it and you have it on your radar, it does help a lot.
Yeah.
And sometimes it doesn't come right away. Like there are certain things on my vision board from 2024 that didn't come until December.
Yeah.
But you just got to be like, oh, I think the real tea is to not be stressed about your vision board. Like that is the real key, not for making it happen. Like the thing with vision boards, I guess we're just getting into it, but
yeah, we're getting
into it. Did you have any other
No. I just wanted to get into all of this.
The thing with vision boards, before we even get started about any of these goals, or for me, I'll speak for myself, is yes, it's nice if they come true, and who knows if it actually works or if it's just luck. No one actually knows for sure. Not one person on this earth knows for sure if it works or not. Like no one can prove it.
Yeah.
It's just coincidence, causation, whatever. However, what it does do is it makes you feel better on the journey. Whatever you're going to end up doing, it directly affects your mood and how you experience getting there. So if you believe that something will happen for you, you are going to be feeling more hopeful, which is a better, more positive feeling to have, than feeling, dread, anything like that, anxiety about it. It's going to be making your experience more enjoyable along the way.
Yeah.
That is really why I do vision boards. That is why I like manifesting or dream journals. Buy now. We said.
Wait,
Don't buy now.
Is today the day that they're launching? We need to check because
No.
I actually think it might be.
Oh.
No, it's not. Wait, oops.
No, it's not.
This is New Year's Eve.
Yes. Oh, so it's not 2025.
Well, it's basically 2025. It's 2025 tomorrow.
If you're listening, yeah.
So next Tuesday, we are launching our My Dream Life journal, which I'm so excited to be in tandem with your vision board or whatever. If you don't want to make a vision board, you don't have to, by the way. This is just, all of it goes hand in hand.
Yeah.
And it's little tools to use to make you feel better. I completely agree. I think that it's like, I had that thought this morning, is that whether or not manifesting or like, trying to feel what it would feel like to have your dream life and all of that, whether or not that works, quote unquote, and is going to directly make it happen is definitely up for debate. However, when you are, I'm trying to give like a physical example of like, okay, let's say you make it a goal to like get ready every day where you pick out an outfit and you try on multiple outfits until you find one that you like. You do your hair, you do your skincare or your makeup, and you're like feeling put together. For me, personally, that makes me feel like, okay, I can take on the day a little bit more, or if my space is organized or something. I'm like, okay, if I'm like ready for the day and I'm feeling organized, I'm excited to do my job. I'm excited to vlog. I want to get clips in these different spots in my house because everything is feeling organized. I feel like I look put together and I feel put together, versus if I get up, I don't do anything to my hair and makeup, I'm wearing my sweats all day. There are days like that, like 100%. I have many days like that. So it's not like it has to be every day. But overall, the energy is lower for me. I'm not in the mood to do my, have a creative shoot idea or be like, you know what I mean? It's just, that energy isn't there for me because I'm not feeling like energized literally and I feel like that is a shift that you yourself can make within your surroundings or yourself that just puts you at this like higher vibration, if you will, to think of good ideas, to act on your good ideas.
Have a clearer mind, clearer vision.
Yes. And so I think same thing with vision boarding or going on Pinterest and making a mood board, or just like, I wanted to give a whole breakdown on like what I think, some nice little things you can put together for yourself to make it feel special, like a little vision boarding night, whether you want to do it with friends or alone. I think it's a great solo activity. I think it's fun to do with friends too. But should I get into that now?
Yeah,
okay.
Go for it.
I had written a few things down. I mean, nothing crazy, probably something I've already said in the past. But that's how you know I believe it, because I just say it over and over. So I think kind of setting the vibe in your area. So if you're in your room, you're in your office, you're in your kitchen,
you're saying for a vision boarding event.
Yes, okay. I'm saying for a vision board. I mean,
whether it's by yourself or with other people.
Let's say it's solo. I'm going to start with that. But this kind of goes for if you also want to like host a vision boarding night with your friends too. But I think setting the vibe for this specific activity is so important. So you're going to appeal to all five senses, as Lauren Bostic has taught us. I literally have remembered that from like 5 years ago, and I love it because it's just a good thing to base your events off of. So, you set a playlist and you have a speaker going, or it's playing on your phone or whatever, or one of your favorite albums. I looked up on Spotify and they have playlists for vision boarding or manifesting nights. That. And it's like Successful by Ariana Grande, those types of songs. So playing some music that you love that makes you just feel cozy and energized, lighting a candle, having a whatever kind of snack, sweet treat, drink, something like that. Being comfy or just feeling, whether you do want to feel put together or if you're doing it at night and you're just in like a matching PJ set, if you will.
Maybe it has polka dots.
Maybe it has polka dots on it. And maybe it's from what we said. I don't know. Just things like that and cleaning your space. You don't want to do this in a cluttered space. Specifically how we've done vision boarding in the past is that, particularly I will make a tell me if you do the same thing. I will make a board on Pinterest, a private board that's titled like 2025 vision. And I'll just pin a bunch of stuff, quotes that I like, pretty photos, things that I'm attracted to, photos of, a few years ago I had done pictures of girls who were pregnant because I wanted to get pregnant, stuff like that. And then I just would download all the photos to my computer and print them out physically, just at CVS or something, so that I have physical copies of the photos. You can also, I think that is more specific for a vision board than like taking a bunch of magazines and cutting stuff out.
Hoping you find something.
You definitely can do that. And I think it's cute to do a combo, like maybe get some magazines or some newspapers, whatever you have, and you can cut out things that catch your eye to like make your vision board pop and be cute. But I do think that Pinterest is just so specific. Like you can find, if you're trying to grow out your hair and you want it to be thick, you can find a photo of like thick hair. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Stuff that you're maybe not going to find like by chance in a magazine. So then just get a poster board. Obviously you want to have all this prepared before, but like have a poster board or a thick like little, like a foam board or whatever, and just start taping or pinning stuff with pins, whatever you want to do, onto your board. It can be as big or small as you want it to be. But I think doing all of that, organizing your space, setting a candle and a playlist, like it just makes you feel energized. I love the feeling. Like I can kind of feel it right now as I'm saying it. And I'm like, oh, it's so motivating to me and just exciting. And I think that that's such a good energy to start the year with.
Yeah.
So when I had you guys over, it was not last year because that was the year I was sick. The year before, I hosted a little vision boarding night and I made like a PowerPoint presentation for us and was just kind of talking about like why we're doing this. Okay, here's the point of vision boarding. Here's the goal and whatever else. So I thought that was like a fun, if you're trying to host a night.
Yeah, that was
to do
fun.
it in the next like week or two with your friends. That's a fun little touch you can do, and obviously have some like snacks and stuff. But yeah, those were my tips as far as tangible, like to actually, if you want to make a vision board yourself.
I think that's great. I think it is good to have a mix of both, because on Pinterest you can be very specific and it can have multiple elements. Like a photo, says 1,000 words or whatever. And there can be multiple aspects of a certain photo that you find that's like, oh, that's the fashion I'm trying to, work on. This is, and they're in a place that I want to visit. And, they're whatever, doing things that I want to do, and it can speak, volumes on your vision board.
Yeah.
More so than I feel like magazines. But magazines, it's kind of magical if you're flipping through and something does speak to you, because it's like, oh my gosh, what are the odds that I found exactly what I want? You can have a little mix of both, being very specific and letting something come into your lap.
And something you didn't know you wanted.
Yeah, and like being open to it. Yeah, for sure. I've been pinning like the last week or so, just things for my 2025 vision board and what I want for 2025. And I think what I find is that it's nice to vision board for gratitude reasons as well. I find myself, as I'm looking for things, sometimes being like, what else do I want there? Like, I'm so happy with my life. I'm so grateful for that. Like, yeah, I could always be doing new things and experimenting with, fun. I'm like, experimenting with who knows what? Just like experimenting with new hobbies or things like that. But it also just makes me realize how grateful I am for my life. And that is also motivating to be like, okay, wow, I'm so grateful. Look what I've already done. And look what has already been, what I've been blessed with as well. Like things that I've done for myself that I'm like, okay, wow, I can do things for myself. I can make things happen. So I can continue to do that. And also look how blessed I've been. Like it is a possibility to be blessed, and I can, keep letting myself want more and keep letting myself look for, ways to improve my life, improve people around me's life. But I also just think that dreaming is fun because dreaming is fun. Like it's not for the dream itself of like, one day I want to do this. And obviously if you get there and when you get there, that is amazing. And it's going to be everything you dreamed of and all of that. But you have to remember that the dreaming aspect of it, like the actual act of dreaming, is fun. And it is so, I feel like important. Like the fact that we even as human beings have the capabilities of our mind to get to that point where we have this euphoric feeling of dreaming and thinking up things and having an imagination and wanting to do these things is such a beautiful thing to experience. Like that is living. Like that is something that, I mean, I don't know if animals experience that, but that we have the opportunity
to do too.
Yeah. And that we get to do. That is such a huge part of living your life to the fullest, is letting yourself dream because it's fun to dream.
Yeah.
And not telling yourself no, not telling yourself, oh, that could never be me. It's like, don't kill your own joy. Like let yourself dream. Whether it comes true or not, it literally doesn't matter. If you dream more things will happen to you. I believe that. But also, it's just fun to do it. It's fun to dream. It's fun to dream for yourself. It's fun to dream for other people. And it makes life more enjoyable.
There is nothing I love more than putting Benny in a pair of really soft pajamas. It's like my favorite time of night when we give her a bath and get her a fresh diaper and put on just super soft, cozy jammies for her. And Posh Peanut has the softest pajamas ever, and they come in so many fun, cute prints. I also feel like as your kids get older, and like Chelsea has mentioned about Posh Peanut, they have, different characters like Hot Wheels, Disney, Hello Kitty, Barbie, and you just know those kids are going to go wild over all those different prints and different options that they have. Something that is so nice about Posh Peanut is that their fabric is 4 times stretchier than cotton. So it grows with your child. It's also breathable, chemical free. It's delicate on your baby's sensitive skin, and it is ridiculously soft. It's made with viscose from bamboo that stays super soft even after you wash them over and over again. This is so important. I feel like you just have to wash your baby's clothes all the time, and sometimes they just get the quality diminishes very fast and they just don't keep the softness, but Posh Peanut is different.
Their high quality fabric is 4 times stretchier than cotton, so it grows with your child. It's breathable, it's chemical free, which means they're delicate on your baby's sensitive skin, but they also last long. So you can, especially Case, he wakes up in his pajamas and he's on the go. He's tumbling, he's running around, he's jumping around, he is sitting in dirt, all of that fun toddler stuff. And he's usually doing it in his pajamas. So it's nice to have something that's durable, comfortable, breathable, and will last. I also have a pair of Posh Peanut pajamas. Actually, I have 2, and they are so soft, so comfortable. I love them. Nick is obsessed with them as well on me because they are so soft and so flattering. So right now, Posh Peanut is offering our listeners 20% off your first order with promo code What We Said. Go to poshpeanut.com/whatwesaid and use promo code What We Said for 20% off your first order. That's poshpeanut.com/whatwesaid, promo code What We Said. I'm always looking for fun ways to spice up my water routine and stay hydrated, especially just being postpartum and breastfeeding. I just find myself very depleted sometimes, and sometimes it'll be halfway through the day, or I hate to say even further along in the day, and I realize I've not drinking an ounce of water. And something that helps me really stay hydrated is something that adds a little,
a little oomph.
Yeah, a little oomph to my water that tastes good, has a little flavor to it, gives a little kick, and is fun and exciting to drink. So I recently tried the Gatorade Hydration Booster. Nick has also been loving this as well. They're just little packets packed with essential vitamins backed by Gatorade superior science experts. They have no artificial flavors, sweeteners, or added color. You just add them to your water, shake it up, and you're good to go. The electrolyte levels are suitable for all day, so you can be sipping and help you get through your busy day.
The Hydration Booster has an advanced blend of electrolytes from watermelon, sea salt, and other sodium and potassium salts. It contains 30 calories and 5 grams of sugar versus Liquid IV, which contains 45 calories and 11 grams of sugar. A lot of times with electrolyte products, I really like adding electrolytes to my water. I feel like, again, it's kind of just a nice way to get a different flavor in and still stay hydrated. But I also find myself just feeling a lot more energized and hydrated throughout the day when I do add electrolytes. And sometimes a lot of these brands contain so much sodium in order to get that. So I like that this has nearly half the amount of sodium compared to their top competitors. It's nice to feel like you can get a little extra hydration in there throughout your day without just having a ton of sugar and sodium and all of that. So put your water to work with Gatorade Hydration Booster. Go check it out. Yeah, I think it's always good to have the mindset of why not me? Like, why couldn't that happen to me? Instead of being like, oh, that would never happen for me. obviously easier said than done. And I think that can be hard if you have gotten yourself into a space in your life or a mindset where maybe you consider yourself to have like bad luck or things are not going your way. I think it can be really hard to like crawl yourself out of that hole and be like, I'm dreaming so big. But I do think it is so important, and something to always remember is that like even people you look up to, they're no more important than you. Like anything is possible for you specifically. Why couldn't it happen to you? And I always have really had that mindset as far as I will say like money goes. Even as a younger child, like I've really always kind of been like, oh, well, if all these people live in all these houses, like if I would travel or something and see all these nice houses, I always had the mindset of like, so I can have that. Why can all of these people?
There. Yeah. Someone owns that house. Yeah. Why not me?
Why couldn't I live there? Like it just, to me, that makes logical sense. Like people make good money in the world. Why can I not make good money? Like it doesn't make sense.
It is. It's like that. Okay, say you want a job position and it's like, I don't know if I'm qualified. I don't know if this and this and this. Somebody has that job. Like that job position will go to somebody. So why not you? It really is as logical and as simple as that. Yeah. Why not you?
Yeah.
And if there are genuine reasons, you can work on those reasons. Yeah. But even things like that, it's like, okay, why not me? I could actually let myself want that job.
Yeah.
And then once you let yourself want it, it's okay, what do I need to do to like be qualified, to get that interview, to really wow the people and, get my dream job.
And we're all just faking it in a way too. Like no one is 100% confident with no insecurities. And
a lot of people are learning as they go.
Yes. Like some people just, I think I shared this a while ago or maybe a month or two ago on the podcast about how I saw this video and this girl was talking about how she works with a lot of successful people. She's like, the only difference from them and anyone else is that they just do stuff. Like they see what sticks. Like they just try and they put themselves out there constantly. And if stuff doesn't work, it's like, okay, moving on to the next. Like, and yeah, I think that's a really good headspace to be in. I saved this quote on my little Pinterest board that I created for 2025. I'm going to read it really fast because I feel like it goes along with all of this energy. But it just says, cool doesn't exist. Oh, here we go. It says, I always end up in cool places doing cool things. And I just love that energy. I feel like that's one of the things I'm focusing on for 2025 is just being like, I attract cool opportunities and I'm always doing really cool things. And that's not cool to an outside perception. It's cool to me. Like things that I think are cool and that I want to be doing. And I really try and stay in that mindset. I also think with social media, I have, when I first started social media, I was obviously, Instagram had just barely even existed. I was in high school. I didn't know what it was going to become at all. And then I started photography, and basically, 5 years from the time I started, I remember being like, whoa, I had really good luck with when I started Instagram. Like that was really lucky. And then I have had other things in my career where like in 2020 on TikTok, I like made it a commitment to myself that I was going to post, I think 5 videos a day. And I grew my TikTok, and I remember thinking a year from then, like, whoa, I had really good luck with how I started TikTok at that time. I remember thinking that about the podcast. We started our podcast 6 years ago. And I remember thinking, whoa, I had really good luck with the timing of starting that podcast.
Yeah.
And then I realized that whether it's luck or not, that mindset is so powerful to have. And I feel like it's why I have anything in my life, is because I think that about myself. Like I have good luck in these ways, and my luck continues to grow almost because of that mindset. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think it's like, I'm not trying to also be like holier than thou, like this is how you just do everything. But I feel like when I really look back at all of the things in my life that like I have quote unquote manifested, it's been a combination of like, it's whatever they say about like luck meets opportunity or whatever. It's like, yes, I got lucky, but I also just tried. Like
it's like opportunity meets preparation or something like that.
Yes. Like our podcast, we did not know if that would be successful. We thought it would be a fun
Yeah.
thing to do. It's ended up taking us in like a certain direction that I'm so happy with, but that came from us trying to do something.
Yes.
I feel like effort is just so important.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And I think it really speaks to doing what you love to do and what lights up your soul truly and what sets your soul on fire. Because even if we want to go deeper than that, it's like kind of what we talked about in the Martha Stewart episode is, am I okay? Episode. Is even that. It's like our friendship has been for years and years and years before we started the podcast because we loved hanging out with each other. We wanted to have fun. We were building our bond. We were, because not for no business purposes at all.
No.
But that was preparation in and of itself. It's like because we were just going with our gut and having fun with each other and building our friendship purely for no actual purpose besides like we both wanted to.
Right.
That was preparation to the podcast because then it was our dynamic had already been
This has
sealed.
been built for years.
Yes. So then it's like, okay, now we're doing this and the opportunity was perfect for us. And I feel like it's easy to get caught up in the surface level things of like, okay, I'm going to work on this thing to get this specific goal short term. But the things that you do in your day-to-day life that you love and that don't seem to have a real goal, but you're just like, I just love doing it.
Yeah.
Those are always preparation for something.
Totally.
That you are feeding, you're nurturing that
Yes.
thing. For like Martha Stewart, like for a year, she just loved renovating her house. She loved throwing events.
Yep.
She loved beautiful things. She wasn't like, and I'm going to do this for 15 years so I can write a book
No.
in 15 years.
It just happened.
It just happens.
I totally agree. I think that's such a good point and we kind of did touch on that in that episode, is like there's all these things that feel like just invisible work, and maybe it's subconscious work as well. But if you are in your power and you're doing things you love, it brings you to opportunities.
Yes.
And then my point is that then you feel like, oh, wow, I have good luck with this. And it is kind of a mix of everything. It's like, because you have prepared, like even a lot of the opportunities I've gotten with photography or something, it's like, I think back, same thing. It's like, this actually all came to be because when I was 14, I bought myself a camera and was completely obsessed with PicMonkey and would spend all of my free time doing photography and doing this. So that experience it led me to be in a position to where when I got this opportunity, I felt confident taking it in whatever way. And then it just builds and builds. But it all comes from being doing something that lights you up, that you feel very excited about.
Yes. And I feel like that is really the root of manifestation in vision boards is when you are aligned with your wants and your true love for life and you're doing what feels like purpose to you, it is going to bring you good things, but it's not always going to be the little things that you think of. It's not always going to be like, I want to, for example, I had going to New York in the fall on my vision board. Now let's talk about that because I was like, oh my gosh, I really want to go. I want to bring, I'll have a baby at that point. That'll be like the perfect age for traveling. I want to go with my family, like bring the boys, and it'll be so fun to redeem ourselves from the Christmas thing that we didn't even leave our hotel when we went to New York for Christmas when Case was 1. By the way, never go to New York for Christmas. Like I was just going to make a TikTok the other day and be like, just a PSA. Like I know it looks amazing, but you will be freezing your butt off regardless. Like it is never fun to be cold. Anyways. I wanted to go in the fall. I put like this beautiful, Central Park and all the leaves. And I was like, it's going to happen. And then we had a situation come up where we were going to go to New York and then it fell through. And at first when the New York came, the opportunity came up, I'm like, of course it did.
Yeah.
Because I put it on my vision board. Yeah. And then it fell through and the year came and went and I never went to New York in the fall. And I was like, okay. Like I was kind of confused. Like, okay, this was supposed to work. But those things are not really what manifestation is about. Like they can work and it can come to you and it can work out, but those are not the things to get tripped up on is what I'm trying to say. Like don't get so discouraged if you're like, this year I want to get a Tesla and then you don't get a Tesla, because those aren't really the little things that really matter. Those are fun little, you can gamify life and do it like that. But really what it is like a deep, at least for me, a deep feeling of, I'm going to do what feels right to me, what brings me joy, because that is going to be my purpose. That is going to make me contribute to society in a better way. It's going to make me show up as a better mom, as a better wife, as a better friend. It's going to help me perform in my job better. It's going to make me enjoy my life. And that is literally all I want to do is enjoy my life. And obviously I'm welcome to any opportunities that come to me that bring me, you know, success or joy or worldly possessions. Love that as well. But it is really not about that. And the more I hone in on that and just like, I'm just going to do what I like to do, what's fun for me, even if I can't see an immediate result or even in my mind, if I can't see like, this is going to, now I'm going to become even cooking.
Like this is a stepping stone to get to here. There's not always a destination in mind. It's more of an energy thing.
Exactly. Like I want to cook more at home because I want to cook more at home because that is what is fun. I have fun doing it. And
you're being drawn towards
I'm not going to do it so that I can become a cooking TikToker one day. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like you don't always have to have something in mind. It can just be because you want to do it. And that will bring you, I'm like, hopefully in 15 years I will be. No.
Like, it will bring you opportunities though, whether it is work related or not. It's like just hone in on your thing and you will see results in some way or form at some point. That's also what we were talking about in that episode is like your effort does not, it means something. Like every bit of effort that you put into whatever it is, whether it is being a good mom and being intentional with your time or whether, you know, it's exercising all the time. Like I don't know if I've said this on the podcast, I probably have, but when I was working out pretty consistently before I got pregnant or before I did IVF. And I never have been like, oh, I'm in amazing shape. Like I've really never felt like that. I've always like longed for more in that area. But I've been like, I'm in decent shape. Like I try and work out a few times a week. And then when I was pregnant and I stopped working out because I got very sick, I realized how much of a difference it did make and like how much muscle tone I actually had when I
never know what you have till it's gone.
Exactly. Like I was like, oh, I'm not in that great of shape. And then when I lost all sense of muscle, I was like, oh, I guess I actually did like that was doing something. When I kind of thought sometimes like, this is like pointless.
Yeah.
But I realized no, it wasn't. It made it easier for me to go upstairs. It made my life easier to have some bit of muscle. And then when I lost it all, I don't know. So I just feel like all of your effort, it does not go unnoticed or like it is building towards something greater.
Definitely.
In every way. Yeah. And also even like I said, even the energy of being like, okay, I care about myself. I'm going to like just, you know, be on it as far as like hygiene and self-care goes. And I'm going to like get ready every day to some capacity. I really do feel like, again, that's a personal thing for me, that it just puts me in this higher, I feel more energized. So I will make decisions that are just better for me in my life. And I feel like, it benefits me all around.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think that another word that really just has been ringing in my ear the last couple of years of something I'm striving to be is resilient. Ever since I read it's a parenting book about, what's it called? The Danish one?
Danish Way of Parenting?
Yes. And was talking about how, you know, Denmark is the happiest place on earth. You know, everyone's so happy there. And they were talking about why it is. And they were saying resilience is a main principle that they instill in their children. And that has really stuck with me. I really try to remember that in my own parenting for myself and to gentle parent myself and try to make myself more resilient, because I think that being resilient makes you confident. It obviously makes you able to go with the flow a little bit more, and also makes you very strong and makes you feel very empowered. And I think it gives you the opportunity to take on more responsibility in life, which gives you more purpose in life and makes you feel very full. And so they cracked the code over in Denmark, because I really do think that as a society, we really should be working on that a little bit more individually. I think it can be easy to do the opposite of wanting to be resilient and victimize ourselves a lot. I do that constantly, but it is never beneficial to be stuck in that place. It's not, not saying you can't ever be a victim because people are,
Yeah.
but to stay mentally in a place of victimizing yourself is only going to hurt you long term.
Yeah.
Working on being resilient, and when something happens to you, when something is hard, like working to get through it, and I mean like through it, like letting yourself feel everything, letting yourself be mad, letting yourself be angry or frustrated or sad, and expressing that in whatever way you want to, and then getting through it will make you more resilient. And I just think that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
I really want to do that and focus on that more in 2025 as well. I'm in my David Goggins era.
I think that's true about just taking accountability for your own life and like
Yes.
being
responsible and having responsibility is a very rewarding feeling.
and it's extremely empowering. I do want to say with the whole manifesting thing and like taking accountability and stuff, I do think that something that can be hard, like I kind of touched on earlier, if you are going through something hard or you're having certain struggles and you're just like, why would I be
Thinking.
in my era of like, yeah, I'm gonna go get what I want. I feel like even the manifesting thing, like I was always so big on the manifesting train, like, oh yeah, I'm gonna live my dream life. And then when I was going through infertility, I'm like, okay, I'm trying to manifest a baby, but it ain't working, girl. Like it's been years and I'm repeatedly like trying my best to like be in a good headspace and like be chill, but not whatever, and not chase it too hard, but want it, and like all this stuff. And I was just telling someone else that is going through infertility, like I was trying to reassure her that it's like my personal belief now is like there's nothing with something like that, there's maybe nothing that you can do to
out of your control.
Yes, like some things are out of your control, and I guess I have like a very I don't know how I would even articulate my current belief system because it's very it's confusing to even me. But I think touching on what you said earlier is like, for me, manifesting my dream life isn't so specific, like, okay, I'm going through infertility, I'm gonna have a baby by January of 20 whatever, you know. That has never worked for me. Being so specific like that did not work for me. But putting myself in a higher energy of being like, you know, I get cool opportunities, things happen, like good things happen to me, it will happen eventually. Having that mindset with infertility, like it helped me to still love my life and find success in other ways and find joy in other ways while I was going through something hard.
Yeah.
It wasn't necessarily that I put on my vision board, I'm going to have a baby, and it worked. Obviously, I had to do other things and I had to go a completely different route. And that to me was very out of my control.
Yeah.
But what was in my control was trying my best to take accountability for the things I could and be like, this is not an ideal situation, but I'm going to, you know, work on the things that I am passionate about and like try to be in a high energy, so that eventually when it does happen, I'm in a good headspace. Like that's sometimes all you can do.
Yeah. Is surrender, really.
Yeah.
And I think that is a big part of manifestation. I can't remember which manifestation book I was reading years ago, but it's like a main part of it is surrendering to it, which is like to the universe, to whatever you believe in, God, like surrendering to what is going to happen to you. Because obviously you can't manifest for other people. You can't be like, I want this to happen, and then it's
magically
like the
happens.
movie Bruce Almighty. It's like you can't all win the lottery. So you can't put your, you know, I'm going to win the lottery, and then other people's like, oh, well, she put on her vision board, so now it's canceled out for you.
Yeah.
But it's surrendering to the experience, to life, to wanting things, to be having things be hard. It kind of goes hand in hand with resilience. It's like, okay, I'm just going to understand that things might not work out the way that I, in my brain, want them right now. But I believe that if I continue and I'm resilient and push through and push through and push through, I can do it.
Yeah.
Whatever that looks like, I can do it. Like I literally have no choice but to do it. You know, I have no choice but to get through it. And 100% of the time you do get through it or you're dead, you know? And that's great. You moved on to the next part of life. But the hardest things that you think that you can't do, those are probably going to be the most rewarding when you do get through them, or it's going to be the hardest and it's going to affect you for the rest of your life, but you're going to at least get through it. Your life might be different on the other side. Life might be extremely, flipped upside down, but you're going to get through it. Everyone who has ever gone through something hard also says that. It's just the part of life. And unfortunately, it's one of the main things in life that we have to do that is almost not the purpose of life. Who knows what the purpose of life actually is, but I believe that is one of the purposes of life, is to experience extremely hard things and go through emotions that are to depths that you would never even imagine you could go through, because that is the beauty of life, is what you get from that, or like the experiences you have during those hard times, or how your soul changes and is like getting what's the word, just not confined, but like, what's the word?
Refined.
Yeah, refined.
Yeah.
Because like otherwise, what is the point of us being here?
Well, because obviously if manifestation in the sense of you wave a magic wand and you say, I want this to happen, I want this to happen, I want this to happen, then nothing bad would ever happen to you, and your life would be smooth sailing and everything would be perfect. I mean, I think we can all agree that's obviously not the case. So again, I think that my belief system at this point is like, I can't control my life. I don't have full control, but I can take accountability. I can control quite a bit of it. Just not what happens to me, but I can control who I choose to be and my mindset and the way I react to things. Like, that is something I do have control over. So I'm going to try my best to just be in this like high energy and attract, if you will, things that I want to do, that I'm passionate about, that I'm excited about, that make me just have fun and feel joy. I'm going to try my best to be that person so that I can get through hard things and just live a fun life. Like, I feel like we've also lost the plot sometimes about how life is just, I believe, meant to be as fun as possible.
Yeah.
Like, I love having fun. I love just feeling free spirited and dressing up and doing fun, silly things. And I feel like sometimes as an adult, that gets a little bit harder to do because you have so many responsibilities and you have so much going on, and everyone does. And it's like, maybe feels a little silly to be like, okay, let's all go dress up and go to dinner or something. It's like, okay, wow. But I think those little things are so important. And those things to me are what make life feel magical.
Yeah. Exactly.
And remind me that I have free will and I can like literally do whatever I want,
The reason I was just on my phone is I was looking for a quote going off of what you were talking about that was going around TikTok. I saw a bunch of people reposting it, but it was basically this girl like dancing in the subway or something like that. And the quote was, not verbatim, but you call it cringe, I call it having fun. That's why I'm happier than you, or something like that.
Yeah, I've seen that.
And when I saw that, it really just made me the theme of what we've been talking about the last couple months on this podcast, even, and just what I've really been thinking about is just, who cares? Like, just be silly. Like, just be yourself. It doesn't matter if people think you're cringe or people think you're weird or people critique you. Like, they will always critique you. They will always have something to say about you because that's just how people are. And guess what? We say things about other people. It's like that. It's just life. Yeah. And so if you think about that, just having fun, being silly, dressing up, doing things that other people might think are cringe will make your life exponentially better, will make you feel way more aligned with who you are. Mm-hmm. It's getting that inner child work as well, where you just don't care. Like, the things that having or being around kids is so like light bulb moments after light bulb moments, and so refreshing because they just do things that you're like, I don't know. I think it's why people feel in public more comfortable talking to little kids than you. Like, sometimes people will completely ignore me and just like say something to my kids, or like, like, oh, hi, baby, and then walk away. I'm like, and you said nothing to me, but they're so comfortable just being hi. Like, their social anxiety is non-existent with the kid because they're so judgment free. They're so pure. They're so judgment free. It's just how I wish someone said that to. I had Elwin in the carrier and someone walked by and was literally like, hi, baby. Oh, you're so cute. Like, so fun or something, and walked away, but genuinely said nothing to me. And I was like, oh, that's kind of sad. Like, that is how we want to talk to people. Right. But like, because we're adults and we know and we have all these societal pressures and we have social anxiety and we get scared of what people will think, or if it's weird that we said hi, like we don't do that. But that is like how we want to interact with people, is like be so, oh, hi, like it's good to see you, warm and inviting and silly. And it made me think like I should just like be like that more. Who cares if I say, hi, how's it going? Like, hope you're having a great day. When you run into someone at the grocery store that's like that, it's like you just made my whole day.
Yeah,
if they are super like, hey, how's it going? And you're just like, why? At first you're like, why are you talking to me?
Yeah.
But you realize they're just
open.
Literally so free.
Yeah.
So free from any, limiting beliefs for themselves.
Yeah. You know what I've been thinking along that line is that I want to smile more. Like I feel like having Benny, I do smile a lot more because like I'm just looking at her and like, oh, whatever. So I feel like overall I feel happier because I am smiling more often. But like I'll realize sometimes on just candid videos and stuff, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm literally just so like stone cold faced. And I'm like, I need to like smile more for everyone's sake.
Yeah.
Like it's I saw this video of Addison Rae and the comments were like, she literally is never not smiling. And I was like, that is why she's so bright and like bubbly. I love just her literal aura. And I'm like, I swear it's because she's just always like smiling so big.
And you know what? You can smile more when you're not mentally
bogged down.
Exactly. Like when you are thinking of a million things and you're going through your schedule in your head, this is my face. Like,
yeah.
Or this even. Yeah. But if you're, free and you're trying your best and you got things, in the works, then you're feeling a lot more light.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's the goal, is to feel more light and free. Yeah. And just flowing. And open. Like, yeah. That is kind of my takeaway for how I want to feel this year, is just all of those things. Like, aligned, bright, happy, free. I also saved this thing. It was like, you need to feel, let me see. Let me read it. You need to feel at peace more than you need to feel in control. Yeah. And I loved that too. That's like kind of a theme for me this year, is I'm like, I don't need to, again, control every aspect of my life. Exactly. I'm going to do this exactly. Travel here. I'm going to launch this specific business. Like, I think those things are great to, again, get you into a good headspace. But overall, like, my goal is to be at peace. Yeah. So that I can be free and happy and joyful. And like you said, those things make you a better person. They make you a better partner, a better mom, a better friend. Like, when I'm feeling bogged down and stressed, I feel like it's so hard to be around. I'm so annoying to even myself. I'm like, oh my gosh, I just don't have like free space in my brain to like dream about anything. I'm like, I'm just trying to survive, and that's never a fun feeling. So I would love to feel, more of that this year. Yeah. I when I was pinning pictures on my 2025 vision board, I was noticing a theme, and because I was kind of like, okay, let me be open to like, what do I want this year? Let me see what I'm drawn to, and then maybe I'll notice a theme or something. And the theme that I noticed was actually surprising to me, but it was a little bit messy and very colorful. Like all of the pictures I was pinning were like very colorful, very bright, very almost like messy in a way. Not super, like vision boards of the past have been a little more aesthetic. Yeah. And I was just being drawn to it. I'm just like, I just love like the, not necessarily mess or clutter, but just full. Like the pictures were very full. It wasn't just like one supplement on the bedspread, It was, I know what you mean.
Yeah, it was like
it's a different vibe.
Books and paintings and food and like a tablescape and hands and people. And it was making me feel so full and bright and colorful. Like I feel like the theme of my year I want is like colorful, like full of color. And that means like so many different things in terms of, like you were saying about your rug, like just, I like that. And it's a different color than maybe the interior design magazines are telling me to do in this room or something, but not that I want to. Yeah. Like it's completely off trend and kind of hideous, but I'll go for it. Like, no, but like things like I will do that all the time where I'm like, oh, well, what would, Joanna Gaines do here or something like that. I've actually never thought that once in my life. Love her, but just things like that where I'm like, oh, but they say to do these things for even the shelves, like the shelving thing I talked about in one of my vlogs. Like I'm so bad at like putting things in shelves and styling them. And JC did all of these. That's why they're cute. But I was talking about that on my vlog, and someone commented, they're like, if you just owned how you did it, I would have thought it was perfectly purposeful and like I thought it was cute and cluttered and just like fun and you and very cozy.
So
and I
true.
was like, and you ate with that because my insecurity is showing and I need to cover it up.
And I need to hide. No, 100%. I feel like when someone is just confident, I have had that so much with interior design stuff too, because when I have been doing my house, like sometimes I'm just like, is this weird? Like certain things that I'll pick or like combinations, I'm like, is this even like gonna look good? I don't know. But I feel like if you're just like, no, yeah, I picked that and I like it and I like how it looks. Like if you just own it, you tell other people, not like you tell them what is cool, but it's like you tell them how to perceive you.
Yes,
like
exactly.
If you are in your own power and you are confident, no one can say, even I saw this video about this girl was like, you know, if someone, this is, I think something we've talked about, like if someone comes up to you and is like, oh, I love your green hair. And you're like, I don't have green hair. So like, what are, like, it's red. Or basically something that someone says to you, if it doesn't ring true to you, it has no effect over you.
Yeah.
So if someone says that bathroom is hideous, but I'm looking at it and I'm like, this is the most gorgeous bathroom ever.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't care less because that's not true to me. And so I think that's what's so important about like exercising confidence and just like how you're going to get there is just making decisions over and over and like trying again, effort of something. And maybe you'll have swing and a miss here and there, but it's like you tell people how to treat you. You tell people how to perceive you. Like if I design something in a room, like, and I put it together and I'm like, I think it looks great, then I'm going to be a lot less affected if someone says, I do not like the way you styled that shelf.
That's true.
Cool. That does not matter to me because I think it's so cute. So I love it. It's my house. It doesn't matter. I think like that can be applied to literally every area of life.
Yes, 100%. I really feel that way about clothes, like styling. I never have thought in my mind ever since I was little. I loved putting together outfits just for fun and getting outside the box and doing what I liked and wearing weird things to school. And never in my life was I like, I have the best fashion in the world. Like I am the top stylist. Like never. But as I've gotten older, I've realized that that is what you trick people. Like actually, not to break the fourth wall here, but it's like some of the things that I wear that I will like post and I'm like, oh yeah. I will even have a moment of like, is this going too far? Like what is happening here? And I'm like, well, that's fine. I like it. I'm very confident about it. And I truly believe that people will just believe you. Like if you act like it is the coolest thing ever, people will believe you.
Yeah.
But you have to really believe it. You
totally
really have
That's
to
the
believe
difference.
it.
You can't be faking
yes,
it.
You can't be faking it.
Really believe. Also,
you have to work to believe it.
And that just takes, I think, practice. Like I have so many things that I'm insecure about. But I feel like the more I exercise, like the more I just practice things, I do feel more confident about them, and I am less affected by anyone's outside opinion because I'm like, oh, I think that it's cool. Yeah. But it takes time to get to that place. And I still have plenty of work to do in a lot of areas, but not that you're ever going to be fully confident in every single area. But yeah, I think that anything you want to get better at or you want to like be your thing, you have all the potential in the world for that to be your thing if you're drawn towards it.
And affirmations, as cheesy and overdone as they may be or seem, they just work. They really do. Like if you just are telling yourself stuff all the time, like the way that you speak to yourself is so important. And like David Goggins says.
David is living rent free.
I finally sent JC some of his TikToks and we are dying. They are just so, well, TikToks, not even his TikToks, just TikToks
of him speaking.
Yeah. He's like, get off your ass. What are you doing? He's like jogging. He's like a 10-pack.
It's like a
marathon.
On.
He's like, I run 15 miles every morning. I'm like, and I should be doing that right now. What was I? Where was I going with him?
With him.
Where were me and him off to?
I'm trying to remember the origin of what you were saying.
Whoa, saying something. What was I saying right before that? Affirmations.
Yeah.
You know, you got to think to yourself about how you feel about yourself. Like he always says, like, why don't you care enough to treat yourself right? Like, why don't you care about yourself enough? And because if you did, like the things you care about, you take good care of them.
Yeah.
So, you got to care about yourself. And that starts with speaking nicely to yourself, treating yourself well, getting to know yourself. The more you spend time and like bond with yourself, the more you're going to love yourself. And the more time that you, put to getting to know yourself and speaking kindly to yourself and doing things that you love and spending time with people that you love, it's just going to grow that bond between you and you. And it's going to make you want to treat yourself better because you aren't going to let someone else. You're not going to let someone treat you bad if you love yourself.
Yeah.
And you're not going to let yourself treat yourself bad.
Right.
It's getting very confusing.
No, no, definitely. I think that's kind of something I wanted to talk about in the 30th episode. I feel like a lot of our episodes have been kind of having this theme because we've just been in this mindset.
It's a new awakening.
It is.
Yeah.
It's a new awakening lately. But I've been thinking about that too. I feel like the older I get, the more I'm like, being self-deprecating has been a core pillar of my humor forever. And it's like, I think I'm starting to find it less funny sometimes, even about myself. Like, I find myself making jokes that I've made for a long time of like, just putting myself down, basically. Yeah. And sometimes I think they're hilarious still. And I think that like, it's funny and it's not that deep and like, whatever. But sometimes I do kind of catch myself just being like, I feel like that's unnecessary to like make that joke and like put myself down in front of other people to like make them feel more comfortable. Because I think that sometimes we think if we're self-deprecating and we put ourselves down, it makes us more approachable.
Or more humble or something.
Humble, approachable, like all of those things. And so I feel like sometimes I'll do that.
And sometimes it's like the opposite of being humble. It's weird. It's like if you truly are humble and deep in your soul, you don't really do things like that. I don't know. You're not thinking about it so much. You're not like, oh, what's going to make everybody else comfortable?
Exactly.
You know? I do the same thing. I'm like, you are not humble. But I do the same thing. That's why I'm saying that. Yeah. I'm like, that's my whole bit. So
yeah. It's hard because I'm like, I do think that, again, sometimes it's funny. But I do just find myself being like, okay, there are certain times when it is funny and it's not deep, but other times I feel like I'll put myself down and it's like, I'm being kind of serious with what I'm saying. That's what I was going to say is when it's things that you actually maybe are insecure about or you are almost being serious about, it's feeding that energy. Yeah. And I think specifically with like looks and appearance and stuff, I'm really trying to do that less because I do believe that having a daughter now, I'm a lot more mindful and I'm just like, I never want her to hear me talking about myself like that because I would never want her to talk about herself like in a negative way. Obviously, inevitably she will. I'm sure at some point, like being a woman in this world, we're going to have things that she's perfect. That's true, actually. She's absolutely perfect. But no, it's just like, I don't want her to to have me look at a photo and be like, oh, I'm a ogre. Cool. Like, I don't want her to hear that. And I don't want to be in that energy anymore. And so while I will still be self-deprecating to some degree and I will think it's funny, I do want to stop, especially with the appearance stuff. Like I said last week or whatever it was, like I'm so exhausted from like caring about that in general. Yeah. And I do think having Benny, I'm just like, I don't want her to place so much value in that. So I'm trying to break generational curses. Yeah. And like not speak about those things, like appearance wise. Yeah. About myself or her, any woman. Like I don't want her to grow up with that as a main source of like importance to her. Yes. And perspective of looking through that lens all the time. Yeah. Yeah, I get that. I think that is good. And I think that's important. Because, sorry, really quick. I think when you are around someone who's very critical of themselves, like it makes you start to be like, oh, are you being critical of me? Like when I'm around certain people who are constantly like, oh, I hate the way I look in this. Oh, I look fat. I look this, like that. I'm like, then I find myself sometimes being like, oh, you definitely think I look bad in this. Like, do you think that I don't know. Like I start being like, are you perceiving me that way? Because that's how you talk all the time. And I never want to be that person. Exactly. Like you want other people to feel safe around you. Yeah. Especially my daughter. Yes. Yeah. And I do think that self-deprecating humor hits different when somebody truly is confident. There's just a difference in somebody like making jokes or being funny because like I think humor is important, but
also when somebody, there's just such a tangible difference. I can't explain it, but when somebody is being dead serious and they are being so self-deprecating, you don't even want to laugh. You're like, I'm feeling very awkward. I'm feeling like I'm egging you on in something. But if somebody has like an essence of confidence and they're making self-deprecating jokes,
true.
it's not as, again, it depends on the joke, but it's not as serious because it's not serious for them.
Right.
So it's like, it's not serious for them. They're making a joke, and everyone else is like, like, again, depends on the joke. But I do think it just always comes back to like the deeper work. It's like you can, if you focus on the deeper work within yourself, it's going to have so many benefits you don't even know about, like it's going to have, you're working on your confidence, you're working on your resilience, you're working on having peace and, inner peace and working on your inner child. Like all these things are going to bring benefits that you don't even know exist yet.
Right. And it's going to subconsciously probably make you not say as many of those jokes or those comments because you're feeling more at peace and it doesn't matter to you as much. Yeah. And I do think that is the beauty of getting a little bit older. Like every year I feel a little bit more like, okay.
Yeah, same.
I guess just even awareness of that I'm grateful for.
Yeah.
Like just even being aware that I do those things. I'm like, maybe 10 years ago I didn't even have the awareness of that.
Yeah.
But now I like clock it for what it is. You know what I mean?
Yes, for sure.
So, well,
Benny's very lucky to have you as her mama.
Oh, thank you.
I don't think she'll be any sense of self-doubt, especially like about such worldly things.
Yeah, well, I hope not. That's
at least not from you. At least not from you.
Yeah, well, thank you. That's all I can hope for.
Like from me. Like I will continue to make jokes.
Do you have any more like quotes or anything that you wanted to share or no?
Just
no any more
quotes. Vibes. No. Aura. No. Eras. No.
Something I'm so into right now is layers and layers and layers and just patterns and colors for bedding. I feel like it makes your bed feel and look so, so cozy. For our guest room, my motto was just like, the more the merrier. I want comforters, pillows, extra pillows. Like I just wanted it to feel so, so cozy and fluffy in there. And it looks so cute. And all of my guests so far have been raving about the sheets and just the whole bedding situation. And it is from Quince. I have gotten a lot of messages asking where that gingham sheet set is from in my guest room, and it is from Quince. They have so many cute patterns. Their European linen duvet cover is so like nice and airy and soft. And with linen bedding specifically, the more you wash it, the softer and softer it gets. And I am so sold on the linen bedding. Like I love it so much. But they have like gingham in different colors. They have really pretty stripes and lots of really pretty different tones and shades and colors. So you can really mix and match. And again, like you can just kind of layer stuff and make it super, super cozy. Their sheets are soft and luxurious. They have ultra plush duvets, quilts, pillows, shams, everything you need to level up your bed.
And the best part is, like Quince's clothing, their bedding is priced 50 to 80% less than similar brands. So they cut the cost of the middleman, which they can pass those savings on to us. So Quince only works with factories that use safe, ethical, and responsible manufacturing practices, which is why we love Quince. So turn up the luxury when you turn in with Quince. Go to quince.com/WWS to get free shipping and 365-day returns on your next order. That's QUINCE.com/WWS for free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/WWS. Go check it out.
We're taking a break from our sponsor, Nine West. I have been wearing multiple pairs of Nine West shoes lately. I've been rotating. I have a really cute pair of kind of like shinier pointed toe red heels. Perfect for holidays, New Year, all of that. I love a pointed toe heel to pair with jeans or pants, and it just, even like an oversized sweater, I feel like it just elevates things a lot. I also have a pair of cream slip-on like loafer clog kind of things from Nine West that's really cute, and a pair of brown pointed toe boots. Nine West is a brand that inspires women everywhere to take on the world in style. It's on trend, affordable. They have all the different trends, like I mentioned, loafers, heels, boots, sandals. Like they have something for obviously every season. And shoes, as we have been learning on the What We Said podcast, specifically me, can really make or break your outfit. And it just changes the vibe completely. If you wear sneakers with jeans and a sweater, going for more casual look, you want to elevate things a little bit, you can wear a loafer, or You can wear like a heeled boot, or heels, and it really takes it up a notch. So I love Nine West, and they have tons and tons of stuff to choose from.
It's obviously on trend, but it's also affordable, which is really amazing, especially if you want to, work on your capsule wardrobe, work on a wardrobe for the new season, and you don't want to be spending a pretty penny just for shoes because you got other things to pay for. So Nine West makes shopping trends easier with their Need It Now edit, also known as the 9 edit. So this is a curated roundup of the hottest trends you've been eyeing, from city streets to office meets to holiday events. You can take Nine West from 9 to 9 with styles that are perfect for the office and a night on the town. So visit 9west.com and use code WHATWESAID at checkout for 15% off your purchase. That's NINEWEST.com and use the code WHATWESAID for 15% off your order. Go check it out.
I have a few more things, or a few more little quotes on my board that I'll share. One of them says, "I deserve to have this exciting, rewarding career. It is so much fun." I love that because it's just so simple, and it's like, I, again, think having fun is so important. And not that you have to have, like, Maddie Murphy just did a whole episode about how, like, you don't have to have, like, a career that's so fun and amazing. And, like, she was basically saying that every career, like, you have to work. Even if it looks glamorous or it looks fun, like, at the end of the day,
there's always work.
There's always work involved. Like, even, whatever it is, like having this podcast, obviously it's so fun for us to do this together. There are tons of things that aren't fun, like, taxes and accounting stuff and admin work and emails. Like, that all comes with the territory. So are you ever going to have this amazingly perfect job where you literally just get to have fun all day, every day? No. But I do think that just having fun is so important, and letting yourself, like, I like that quote because it's like, I deserve to have this exciting, rewarding career. It's so fun.
Yeah.
I love that energy.
The exciting part and rewarding part is fun, not the daily work.
Exactly. I think that is something that is just, even speaking that is energizing to me.
Yeah.
And I always want to be in that.
Yeah.
And be thinking about that. The last thing I'll share is, this is giving millennial, but it says, "I kind of like when it falls apart because now I can make it how I want." And I like
chin
that.
Up, your crown is
no,
falling.
literally chin up your crown. What's the one?
Your crown is slipping, princess.
Literally. Keep calm and carry on. It's giving all of that. But I do think that's a good thing to remember if you feel like your life has, like, I kind of like when it falls apart.
I know. I have tons of those quotes on my vision board. I love it.
It's
the millennial in me.
Yes. Like, when things fall apart, it's an opportunity to rebuild, is what I'm saying.
Redirection.
So I think that sometimes, like, I have had moments in my life where I feel like I'm, like, at a very low point mentally, and I'm just like, very hopeless. Like, I don't know what to do. But I feel like those moments really have, like, led me to rebuild something even greater, where I'm like, okay, I have hit the bottom here. So all we can do is go up. Let me rebuild and let me, like, think about my dream life. Like, I vividly remember having one of those moments a few years ago when, like, all my IUIs failed, and I was just, like, in such a low place and very, like, I don't know if I'll ever have kids. Like, I don't know. This is just a very stressful mindset. And it took me a few months. I was there for months. And then I, like, vividly remember having this kind of, like, little breakthrough where I was like, okay, I'm going to rebuild and make things how I want them to be. Again, controlling the things I can control.
Yeah.
Putting a pin in this situation, because obviously I can't control it. But let's move forward. And so there's your millennial quote too.
I love that.
End with.
I love a millennial quote. I love her, but let her be wild. Rejection is redirection.
Yep.
I love all of those.
All of them.
Yeah.
They're popular for a reason.
Also, I just made a joke, a self-deprecating. Let's put this in practice. 5 seconds ago, that what's it called? Reverted? Like, take away.
Yeah.
Does it retract? Like, I retract that statement.
Okay, what was the
when
statement?
I was joking that I would make, I was like, she will never have that with you. I was like, but with me, because I'll make self-deprecating jokes. Like, so layered. I'm like, I will never, like, stop making. I would absolutely never do that around Benny, just so you know.
I know that. I know that. Maybe they didn't know that, but I know that. Yeah. I think we can all, we can all work on a lot of things.
So stressful.
No. I'm saying, like,
we're like, we got so much to do. Oh gosh. We got a long way to go.
No, I'm saying you're never going to be perfect. I'm almost saying the opposite. Like,
yes,
you're never going to have
stressing.
The perfect body, the perfect house, the perfect relationship, the perfect kids, the perfect blah, 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 cooking every meal. Like,
because we already have that.
Like, because you have us to look up to. No, it's impossible. So don't try and reach for an unattainable standard, because it's going to leave you feeling very blah.
Exactly.
So yeah, just
focus
do
on
your
the
own
journey.
thing, and also do your own thing.
Yeah.
Like, I cannot emphasize that enough. And I'm really speaking to myself, actually. It's like, just put your blinders on, stay in your lane, do what you like. Make your own vision board. That's why I was even saying, like, almost maybe do it as a solo activity, because it's like, this is about you and your life.
Yes.
You don't need outside voices or sources. Like, do your thing.
Telling you what you want.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
That's all I've got.
Yeah, I love that. That's all I had as well. I think that this year is going to be amazing. And also, thank you guys for the most amazing 2024. We're so excited for 2025. There's so many fun things coming in the works for this year, or this year as in tomorrow. See you guys next year.
I guess this was the last episode. Last year. Last week I said that was the last episode, but I lied.
guess this is. Yeah.
This is technically the last episode of the year.
Yeah. Maybe no one's listening because we're like, this is the last one. They're like, oh, I guess one's not going up next Tuesday.
True. Awesome.
No, there is. You guys, we're here.
We're here.
But yeah, thank you guys. I know you guys are going to have a great 2025. I know you guys are going to kill it because you listen to us. So we know you have great taste. We know you have a great mindset. And we know you're all smart, beautiful, capable people. So
yeah, I'm excited for this year. It's going to be great. Make your vision board. Tag us if you make one.
Yeah,
I would
have
love
like a
to
girls'
see it.
night.
Yeah, if you have a girls' night. I just said you should do it alone.
Yeah.
You can really do whatever the heck you want.
But for us, tag us.
But I do. I would love to see them if you guys end up making one. I do want to make a physical one this year, since I didn't last year. So I need to get on that.
Yeah.
But you can also do it anytime. Obviously, you can do it whenever you want. You can also do it mid-year. But I feel like just January as a whole, for me, I don't focus as much as like, okay, the first week, what are all my habits? I'm like, January is the reset month.
Yes.
So don't feel stressed about, I need to have my vision board this, in the next 2 days. Like, just do it in the next month.
Yes.
Set you up for success. You got time. Thank you guys so much for listening. Thank you again. I'm doing my whole spiel again. Thank you again for so much support and love this year. You guys mean the absolute world to us. And we just couldn't do anything that we do without you. So we're just always forever grateful for all of the kindness that you guys show us. We love our Valley Girls. We love you. Happy New Year. And that's what we said. Bye.
Stay safe out there, ladies.